Let us now listen to our gospel reading for today, which will be done by Steve, after which Vicky will do the talk for us.
Today's reading is taken from Mark chapter 6, verses 1 to 13. Hear the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. He left that place and came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. On the Sabbath, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astounded. They said, "Where did this man get all this? What is this wisdom that has been given to him? What deeds of power are being done by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary and brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. Then Jesus said to them, "Prophets are not without honor except in their hometown and among their own kin and in their own house." And he could do no deed of power there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and cured them. And he was amazed at their unbelief. Then he went about among the villages teaching. He called the 12 and began to send them out 2 by 2, and gave them authority over the unclean spirits. He ordered them to take nothing for their journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in their belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. He said to them, "Wherever you enter a house, stay there until you leave the place. If any place will not welcome you and they refuse to hear you, as you leave, shake off the dust that is on your feet as a testimony against them." So they went out and proclaimed that all should repent. They cast out many demons and anointed with oil many who were sick and cured them. This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ.
Good morning, St. Matthew. And thank you, Steve, for the reading. It's Mark chapter 6 from verse 1 to 13. And you know, when I took the verse in my hand to start to thinking about how I'm going to preach about that, and I had the feeling and the expectation to speak about the 12, and I'm talking about the commission. And yes, we're going to talk about that, but I want to dedicate more of my reflection in Jesus and his own town, and what that means for us today. So I want to repeat part of the reading today. He said, "Where did this man get this thing?" They asked, "What is wisdom that has been given him? What are these remarkable miracles he is performing? Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son, and the brother and James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sister here with us?" And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his relatives and his own home. He could not do any miracle there except lay his hand on a few sick people and heal them. He was amazed at their lack of faith." Okay, and I repeat that to myself a couple of times, but made me think about something that happened. And maybe you hear about the prophet Samuel. Was, you know, when God asked him to look for a new king. So Samuel was looking for the right man to be anointed as a king over Israel. So God sent him to the house of Jesse. But the problem that was Jesse's grandmother was a Moabite, Ruth. You remember? And his great-grandma was a shameful woman of Jericho, Rahab. So no very good place to go for a king in Israel. And very unlikely family in which to find the most famous king of Israel, David. But if that were not enough, when Jesse brought out his eldest and almost accomplished son to meet Samuel, God said to him, no, Samuel, that is not him. Samuel went through 7 of Jesse's boys, and God said no to all of them. But Samuel was confused, isn't he? He said, you told me to come here and you say no to all those beautiful, wonderful guys. And he asking, isn't he? He asking, are you sure that you don't have more children? And just say, yeah, but no, I don't think so. That's one. That's David, the younger one. He's only a shepherd, a shepherd. He's no king material. The Lord doesn't see people in the way what we see. He's not look what I have or not have, how I look, I not look. And we know what happened with David. His brother maybe wasn't happy that they wasn't chosen, but God chose David. And maybe then feel a little bit uncomfortable. And that may remind me as well, Joseph, no? That, his brother hate him because God chose him. Okay, it was no different with Jesus. How can somebody that you grow up with, somebody you maybe has watched grow up, somebody who's, was with us all the time, and suddenly start to acting as if he was somebody, just who this guy think he is. Who is he? That now he believes he's a prophet or he's healing people. So Jesus, used that wonderful word. He said, I know prophet is no, be a prophet in your own town, you don't have any honor. Yeah. Jesus knew that, and that's Jesus said his famous line, a prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his relatives and his own home. There is a passage in the beginning of the Gospel of John that encapsulates what is said about Jesus in that day. The Gospel say, he was in the world, and the world came into being through him. Yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. That's in John chapter 1, verse 10 to 11. So perhaps today, the Gospel invites us to be, a little bit and thinking a little bit about Jesus and his profound suffering when he was rejected for his family and his people. So you may then let Jesus be with you in the way of suffering when people rejecting you, when people say, oh, you Christian, or who are you? Where are you coming from? Why are you talking like that? Why you are a leader now? Why you have that vision? Who told you that Jesus sent you to do anything? Happen, So you can feel that Jesus knew exactly what happened to him. And, as a human being, sometimes we are cruel with other human beings. And sometimes we are cruel with the people that is around us. And Jesus was an amazing, then he knew and he understood his people. But something that happened is that Jesus couldn't heal only a few in his own town. He had all the power to heal all the town, but what's amazing, he couldn't make it. Isn't it extraordinary to think that there are a situation where we can tie God's hands? I know it's difficult to say that, but really here happened. And I don't know if you hear about a great painter called Holman Hunt, famous, very famous, and he has his that's picture of Jesus called the Good Shepherd, knocking on the door. Is the original, the first one original is in Oxford University, and there are other one in St. Paul Cathedral, but that was the second one that he did. But it's amazing because that door is without handle. And someone asking him, explain us why you painted that door without handle. And he say, because when Jesus knocked the door, you know, the only way that could be open is from inside. Wow, that was like, you know, unexplained. He said, if you don't allow Jesus to come in, he's not going to do it. You need to invite him. You need to open the door. He's knocking, but only us could be open that door. With God, there is no violence to enter. No, God say, I'm going to go inside you because I want it. No, you need to open the door. So that happened in that town. Then didn't open. The decision to admit him into our heart is ours. We decided if we want Jesus in our heart. It was in Nazareth where Jesus grew up. Everybody knew him, that he could heal only a few people. Why? Because they didn't believe he could be possible a healer. They couldn't believe he could be that great man that he was. Other town was admiring him. Thousands of people were following him. But in his town in Nazareth, everybody rejecting him. They could not accept one of their own as being somehow greater than they were. And I can see that faith and humility don't traveling together, isn't it? Because to accepting Jesus, we need to be humble. We need to trust. So trusting Jesus means seeing yourself in need of him. When you need him is when you surrender to him and then didn't that. Knowing your need for him generated trust in him. So when you feel rejection, think about Jesus. And it's amazing the way that he lived with that. And that's linked me with when he sent his disciples to go town to town. And he said to them, if the people open the door to you, you go in, eat with them, you know, enjoy blessing them, heal them. If he then say no, go out, yeah? Because he knew how rejection taught you harm. He knew it's painful. Of course, we need to get the gospel to the world, but Jesus said you need to take care of your heart. And for me, it was a great teaching today when I was thinking about that in the morning, how Jesus was taking care of the heart of his disciple. He said, you know, not less than to broken your heart. When then rejecting you, would then say, who are you? You know, you are fish, you are a fish people. You know nobody. Jesus say, no. If you then rejecting, go out, Don't worry. And it's maybe because Jesus understood what happened in the heart. So when you feel the rejection, think about Jesus. How did he feel? And what after being good a man, he was rejected because he was from a poor town, because he was a carpenter, because maybe people was talking about, oh, is the son of Joseph or no? What is the dad of that one? What happened with him, his brother and sister? They was rejecting everybody in his family. He is nobody. The son of Mary. But the good news, you know what is the good news? The good news is that Jesus is in town today. In your town, right now, Jesus is here. He's knocking the door. So trust him with all your problems, with everything that you have in your heart. Let him give you rest. It's you that has to open the door. God can pushing us to go the door, but it's us that need to open the door. The good news of all the things that we read today is that even when we're rejecting him, he is ready to go in if you open the door. The good news today, if Jesus sending you to preach the gospel, don't be afraid, because he was rejecting first. And he's telling you, don't worry about that. Go. You know, if some people start to laughing at you, or people thinking that you pastor, you a priest, who are you to be? Don't worry, Jesus suffered before. The more important here, and the good news again and again, I want to tell you, is that if we open the door, he's going to eat with you, he's going to have a dinner with you, he's going to transform your life, and he's going to make you a happy person, you and your family and everybody, because he say, I am knocking the door. I want to go inside to your life. I want to transform your life. Sorry for the people that are rejecting him, but we are here because we are accepting him, isn't it? Because we open the door and we are witness of the wonderful, of the miracle that he is when we allow him to come in. So go, be disciple of Jesus. Don't be afraid of the rejection, because he understands. He will heal your heart. Don't let nobody to broken your heart. God bless you, and see you soon.